sphincter kind of clenched after that. It was like, what have I done? It was pretty apparent from that early moment that it was not going to work.
But he did say uncooked, uncensored.
Of course.
Yeah, it's raw. Yeah,
That's
come on.
the idea. I mean, which was a great idea. A great idea. I'm actually sorry that he couldn't find somebody who would have done better at it because, it would have been really popular, still. Oh, wait a minute. It is. More popular than it's ever been. I don't know. What's it up? Almost 30 years now, right?
WWF technically, well, the actual WWF was his father's and his grandfather's technically. So, right. I mean, they've been going on for 70-something years, but technically since Vince was in charge, 40 years, over 40 years now.
But Raw itself as a show has been.
I'm sorry. I think WWF. Raw itself, 32 years now. 32 years.
Jeez. God, I feel old.
Isn't that crazy?
But
now they're on Netflix. Yeah.
I knew that I was not, I was kind of persona non grata. I've never been invited to any of the anniversary shows, despite my by apologizing for how bad I was, and but it's for the best. They got something going, they got something good. Why screw it up with some fat unfunny bastard,
Well, and now they're on Netflix too, so now they can be really uncooked and uncensored and all that other stuff. Yeah,
right. Which we really couldn't do on USA. I mean, we could to a certain extent. I mean, more so than network, but there were certain things we could not, do or say, And then every Saturday I would watch Todd Pettengill and say, "I'm better than him." I mean, I got to be better than him. I would cringe watching Todd, but he lasted a lot longer than me.
For some reason, Vince loved Pettengill. He loved that kind of Saturday morning, I don't know, whatever you wanted, like host kind of guy.
I think because he did it for what it was. He was like, dad jokes weren't as offensive, to the brand in that kind of a format, obviously. But I don't know that he could have, spontaneously done some off the top of his head improving. But, I just give a lot of credit to everyone who does that because of all the work it takes to pull it off. I mean, and also like the ring guys themselves and the referees and, all the talent liaisons and the makeup people and the costume people. I mean, it's an incredible organization. I mean, it's really impressive.
The camera guys, the guys that set up the ring. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the camera guys. I remember when I was doing Vince, watching the camera guys behind the cameras, just trying not to laugh because I didn't want to be heard on the soundtrack,
Yeah, that's great. I don't know. That's, to me, awesome.
Interestingly enough, after I got beaten up by Sherry and Luna, that's when the kids started asking me for my autograph. The first time it had ever happened. So, but it didn't last very long. I think I was gone 2 weeks later.
They call it in wrestling like you're being ribbed, and it's basically kind of being pranked. Like you could say, was that it, or was it almost like an initiation, or maybe even just really Vince payback?
I think initially it was initiation, and I think it was a part of it was an attempt to find something to do. Pranking me became kind of like the running storyline, which was fine. I just wish he had let me know a little bit early on what some of them were, and I could have added to them, or maybe come up with storylines that would have made it, or something that would have made it better or funnier or run more smoothly. But like surprising me, I think just kind of you miss a lot of shots that would have been really funny. At this point, I'm going to do a facial expression, so there should be a
Yep.
But it's hindsight's 2020. 32 years later, it's like, okay, get over it, Bartlett.
A very memorable time, though, especially the beginning of Raw. Considering it's like their flagship show for forever.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sorry I did it. I mean, it was a great experience in many, many, many ways, you know. But even my son said, you know what? I'd rather have you back home on Monday nights. So I think even he kind of knew it wasn't working out. And he was like in 7th grade. So
he wanted you out of there. Did you keep up with it all today or no?
he is back into it again. He's almost 40 years old. And for the past 10 years, he's hosted a SummerSlam party or one of the events. He hosts a party at a restaurant near his house for all his friends.
Nice.
I think they watch and they drinks and they have a pool and Royal Rumble. He does for the Royal Rumble.
Oh, okay, nice.
Year and interestingly enough, he has not asked me to attend one of them. So
wow, ouch.
I mean, part of it's like, why do you want to have your father show up at a party for your friends? But I feel like, I could be a guest speaker. I can add a little bit of listening to it, but no, it's fine. It's fine. And I keep up with it through him. And of course, now my granddaughter, he's got my granddaughter and my grandson. He's got them indoctrinated. She's got a babyface T-shirt, and the grandson Emmett's got a heel T-shirt. So they're very, very much into it. I don't think he showed them any of the Raw stuff yet. I think he's waiting to make sure that they're old enough to take it, so that he don't get as embarrassed as he has been, I think, throughout the years.
Yes, true. He's got to be careful, but he's got to invite you to one of the Rumble parties. It's like, hey, one of the first ever Raw announcers is here. My dad, he's got to do that. Come on. That'd be a great idea. That would be phenomenal.
Yeah, well,
now, I know.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
I like listening and watching a lot of the podcasts, and one of the first podcast interviews I ever did was from the old school wrestling guys over in Ireland. OSW, it's really involved in the animation, and it's three guys from Dublin, I think. And Sean, my son, said, these guys were talking about you. I said, oh, really? And so I downloaded one of the things, and they were doing a watch along. And I don't know what language you can use on this, so I'll
go for it. Yeah.
Oh, go for it. Okay. So he watches it. And it's Monday Night Raw, and there's Bobby the Brain Heenan trying to get into the Manhattan Center, and he's dressed up. There's all these different people, and it says, we get it. And now they're showing us the new team, the new hosts, the new commentators of the team. We have Vince McMahon, of course, and then we have Macho Man Randy Savage, and then who the fuck is this cunt? And I immediately fell in love with these guys, and I sent them an email, and I became a guest on their show, and it was just so much fun. I've done it. I've done a lot of these wrestling podcasts because I like being in front of the fans. There's no more loyal, dedicated fan of anything than that of professional wrestling fans. I mean, there's no Mets fan, Yankee fan, Cubs fan, Red Sox fan, or Knicks fan. There's no sports fan that is as loyal or as avid and dedicated as the wrestling fans. They're the best. They're the greatest fans of any